Welcome back to the channel. If you clicked on this, you're probably curious as to why I haven't reacted to a Freshy Kanal battle in like 6 to 8 months. And I'm making this video now because I just released a rap battle on my main channel, and when I do that, I tend to get a bunch of DMs from people asking me again, hey, you're making those battles. That reminds me, why haven't you reacted to Freshy Kanal? First, I want to go over the reason that's not why I'm not reacting, which is any sort of beef between Freshy and I. The history of any grievances Freshy and I have had with each other goes way back, and I have reacted to Freshy well since any events of turmoil between he and I have occurred. So it's not because of that. The reason is actually to do with the battles that he's been releasing themselves. And it kind of shows a bigger picture of one of the niches of this community that just don't align with what I enjoy. And so it really, short answer comes down to I don't enjoy the type of battles that he's done lately. But I'm going to go into detail on that a little bit here. It really comes down to the impact of the writing and its effectiveness, the direction that he's chosen to go, and then the battle matchups themselves. So starting with the impact and effectiveness of the writing. When we're talking about comedy rap battles, right? It's a comedy rap battle. It's not a big serious thing. But what I am looking for in a rap battle, I'm not saying this is what has to happen, but what I personally am looking for to want to enjoy something or break it down and react to it is, yes, I want there to be references and clever bars, but I also want it to feel in some sense like a rap battle. So there would be some savagery there, some teeth, some aggression, and really those hurting, digging bars that are also a clever reference. And that's kind of how Freshy started as another ERB parody channel, kind of doing that balance. More recently, as he's gotten more writers and more people involved, the lyrics have become much more excellent in a sense of references, but are now all but completely empty with actual disses. It's just a reference that's kind of a diss, or if it's a diss, it's very soft. And I mean, I watched the 11 versus Matilda battle, for example, and I didn't react to it. And one of the big disses, it seemed like positioned as one of the big disses, was the anti-Semite bar against Matilda, which doesn't have a lot of, for the author, which doesn't have a lot of bite to it. It's kind of like if you say that Hitler was an anti-Semite or Eric Cartman was an anti-Semite, it doesn't matter to them because of course they were. And I believe the author of Matilda in her day wouldn't have been coy about being anti-Semitic. So it's like you're trying to do something, but it doesn't work if it wouldn't actually be a diss to the opponent. And I feel like that's about as edgy as Freshy Kanal gets. Otherwise, you have something like when Matilda tells Eleven that, what was it? She was accusing her of plagiarism, so she doesn't have to copy 11 or whatever, which was a reference to the walkie-talkie Stranger Things thing. So it's a clever bar, a clever way to say you plagiarized, but it doesn't feel insulting. There's not a lot of insults in recent Freshy. So that's my first issue, is the lyrics have become very non-insulting, which leads me into the point two, which is the direction Freshy's chosen to go, is why these lyrics are this way. This isn't from accident or lack of humor or lack of talent on the Freshy Kanal team. This is a very strategic decision. They are branding themselves with the nerdcore community at large, which obviously is interested in these battles. These are nerdcore battles. What I make are considered nerdcore battles. They're just comedy nerdcore, but they're really trying to align themselves with that community. And for lack of a better word, the nerdcore community at large is very, very soft. It's usually most of the fan base is very insecure, for better or for worse. I'm not saying that they're wrong for being this way. It's just a fact of how a lot of these folks are. It's a very, very soft community who, when they speak, they're usually more concerned with if their words will offend someone rather than if their words need to be heard by someone. And when you want to align yourself with this kind of a community and you're doing comedy, you really restrict what kind of comedy you can do. And that's very reflective in these battles. They're becoming much more family friendly, just with some bad language, and a lot more unproblematic. And for me as a viewer, I can appreciate what that is, and great, you can have that appeal and no one's going to have their feelings hurt by your battles, but it's not going to be entertaining to me because it loses the bite that I would expect from a rap battle. I think there's a lot of elements in comedy where being toothless is okay. There's a lot of times where being toothless in your comedy can still be very fun. I think of children's shows, SpongeBob, slight adult humor here and there, even a lot of PG-13 kind of humor. There's plenty of ways you could do non-offensive comedy that's unproblematic and will only offend people who are being ridiculous. But when it comes to rap battles and you're packaging your comedy as a battle rap between characters you would want to see battle rap, I don't think that applies. I don't think there's a way to do that in a fulfilling way that doesn't have some chance of someone getting offended. Not that you're trying to offend people, but it should be savage enough that there's at least a sting. And I think that savagery has been lost by deliberate and calculated effort on behalf of Freshy Kanal for the audience he's trying to appeal to. And that leads into the last issue, which are the general matchups that have been chosen by Freshy. And a lot of those have been a lot more obscure characters, which goes back into the lyricism that I'm talking about. It's more focused on fan service of, ooh, look at that cool reference put into clever wordplay, rather than comedic value of savage rap. I'm not saying that's wrong. I just don't enjoy it. And so as they've gone down that path, they've used a lot more obscure characters that are more popular in nerdcore niche rather than, mainstream branded characters that most normies would know about. And so that's the reason that for the past several months, I haven't been reacting to Freshy. It's just not something that interests me. The direction he's chosen to take his channel isn't of interest to me. It's not that it's wrong. It's not that his content's gone down in quality. If anything, he's increased the production quality. The lyrics are a lot more fleshed out, and you could tell a lot of people are involved. But what they've artistically decided to do with the property, I don't find entertaining. I would find it entertaining possibly in different contexts, maybe a skit, those kind of shorts where what happens if these two characters interacted and you have some shenanigans occur. I might enjoy it in that setting, but in a rap battle setting, the humor I am looking for doesn't anymore, from what I've been able to see, exist in what Freshy Kanal's doing. So that's it. It's not some big dramatic thing. It's not some beef with Freshy. It's not that I haven't thought about it. I just don't find what he's doing to be entertaining to me. And it's not for anything he's doing wrong. It's just I'm no longer the target audience. And I hope this clears it up. And until we explore again, I'll see you next time.